Welcome to the discussion. My guests today are Jill Singer, Vice President for National Security at AT&T Public Sector. Jill, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thanks for having us here.
And Richard Durand, Client Vice President for National Security, AT&T Public Sector. Richard, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Jason. Glad to be here.
I think that actually brings us to a discussion around Internet of Things, connected devices. When you talk about the edge and getting connectivity to the edge, there's so much in the national security world where they want to use these connected devices, whether they're simple, tablet computers and smartphone type of things, or sensors now, and you have IoT or connected devices on trucks and cars and airplanes and so on and so forth. So maybe, Jill, talk a little bit about IoT and the growth you've seen, the AT&T has seen, but also where the IC fits into that discussion.
We have seen at AT&T significant growth in the Internet of Things, and our projections, or the projections of the larger industry, are phenomenal. You probably experience it in your own home where you have 7 devices that are attached to you at any given time, and if you put that across the global population, the prediction is in the billions of connected devices by 2020 or 2025. And at AT&T, we're prepared for the exponential growth and demand on the networks that such devices will require of us, so that our customers get the experience to which they've become accustomed. And hence, software-defined networking will allow us to grow. But let's stay on the Internet of Things. For the intelligence community and for the customers that we serve, the Internet of Things can be a daunting risk and a daunting proposition. When one of your goals is to keep things secret and to keep things protected, you're not prone to allowing all of these internet calling devices to walk around inside your buildings. That doesn't mean, however, that intelligence community agencies can't get the benefits, some of the benefits that we see in commercial industry of IoT-like devices. And some of those benefits look the same. If you have a fleet of cars that you are willing to have tagged, then you can understand more about the driving behaviors of the individuals, the maintenance behaviors of the individuals, and you can even get some human security factors in there. If an event occurs, you might know where your cars are and where your people are. That's very helpful. They all have fence lines, physical perimeter fence lines and compounds that they need to secure and that they need to make sure are not being intruded upon by animals or people or whatever, and being able to deploy IoT devices along that fence line would give them real-time insights and knowledge about the physical safety and security of their environments, just like it would any commercial company. And we could go on and cite a few more examples of how IoT would benefit the intelligence community just as it would in commercial. However, I would caution to say that the one word in IoT that causes a lot of angst is internet. And we don't necessarily, it's a coin phrase. However, we would not recommend that our customers run these sensors and these devices on the open internet. We would suggest that they run them on a secure unclassified network, or even they could at some point run them on a secure classified network, but predominantly to get the benefit, you want those sensors to be protected at the network layer. So you're running them on either your intranet or over some highly protected unclassified network absent the open internet. And you want to make sure, the second thing is that the devices, the sensors that you're using are procured with integrity, and that you understand the security that's built into that device, so that you don't have, the Nest example, or any of the examples that we've heard about. I think the third thing that we would caution our intelligence community customers to think about are the applications that you're going to ride on top of the network and on top of that device, that they are built with supply chain integrity into those applications. And then finally, it's the analytics, that you have a way. You could get billions of pings off those devices at any given time. And you want to make sure you have an analytics platform that allows you to understand which of those pings are giving me temperature or humidity data or giving me location data, and which of those pings might be intrusions. and trying to get into the very network that is protecting your SCADA system, as an example. So we look at the Internet of Things as requiring 4 distinct layers of security, beginning with the network and ending with the analytics.
Richard, when you talk to customers, when you have a conversation around IoT connected devices, is there a lot of fear, a lot of hesitation in the IC, or is it what maybe we saw with the cloud 5, 7, 8 years ago? Is we'll dip our toe and do some pilots and some tests and see how it goes?
Yeah, I think it's exactly that. I think you hit the nail on the head, Jason. I think looking back 3, 4 years ago, the IoT strategy for some of these agencies was how do I keep a connected coffee pot out of my secure environment? We're not seeing that as much anymore. There's still trepidation. I mean, TVs are connected. Things that you would normally bring into a regular office environment have some sort of connection, whether it be Wi-Fi, Zigbee, cellular. So policy also needs to catch up. And that's going to be a deliberative approach, obviously, because security is of paramount importance. But many secure facilities, you can't have an IoT connected device in them. So we do see a pivot, though, towards interest. There's a lot of interest in what the benefits are, of course, also what the threats are. So there's a lot of dialogue about, as Jill noted, security. How do you extend a layer 3 MPLS network into make an IoT device, an edge device off of that network, which is a private network, obviously more secure than an internet-based network. And then also too about how they can adopt it. I think Jill hit on most of the examples that I would cite, but I would say that it's going to be more of an outside-in approach. I think they want to make sure they can control the environment, but also be in alignment with what the policy objectives are and what they're required to do by policy. So you might see it in the perimeter fence environment, logistics, transportation, areas like that first. And then as the technology matures and the security posture around the technology increases, it'll be wider adoption, facility management, things of that nature.